What if the reason your life keeps repeating is because every night before sleep, you rehearse the wrong version of yourself? You lie in bed replaying stress, what you said wrong, what could go wrong, what you still do not have. And then you wonder why tomorrow feels exactly like yesterday. But there's a different way. A way to use the most powerful 30 seconds of your day to become the person you want to be. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the exact scene, the neuroscience behind why it works, what Neville Goddard taught about it, and the one mistake almost everyone makes that keeps them stuck. Because this is not just about manifestation. This is about identity. This is about your nervous system. This is about the version of you that you rehearse every single day without realizing it. Most people think they become a new person by forcing themselves to act differently. But that's backwards. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You stabilize into the level of identity your nervous system believes is normal. And every night before sleep, your mind is deciding what normal is. There is a small window before sleep and just after waking up when your mind becomes unusually impressionable. And if you learn how to use that window correctly, you stop fighting yourself. You stop trying to be positive. You stop trying to force belief. And instead, you begin training the version of you that already exists beneath the old conditioning. But first, let me show you the mistake almost everyone makes. People try to imagine the entire dream life. The perfect house, the perfect relationship, the perfect bank account, the whole future. And the brain rejects it because it's too big, too far away, too different from what the nervous system currently believes is true. So instead of feeling natural, it feels fake. And when something feels fake, the body resists it. And this is why so many people say, I tried visualization and it didn't work. No, you did not fail. You just tried to rehearse too much at once. Neville Goddard taught something radically different. He said, do not imagine the whole journey. Imagine one short scene that could only happen if your wish were already fulfilled. One scene, 10 to 30 seconds, simple, specific, repeated. Here is an example. Imagine you want peace, confidence, success, and direction in your life. Do not imagine winning the whole game. Instead, imagine this. You wake up in your calm, organized home, morning light coming through the window. Your phone buzzes. You look down and read, I'm proud of you. You really did it. You smile. You walk into the kitchen. You pour your coffee slowly. No rush. No panic. No heaviness. You look out the window and think, this is my life now. That is the scene. 30 seconds. And here's the important part. Do not watch yourself like a movie. Step into it. See through your own eyes. Hear the phone messaging you. See the text message. Feel the warmth of the mug. Feel the calm in your chest. Feel the identity of the version of you that already lives this way. Because the scene itself is not the power. The state is the power. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. Right before sleep and right after waking, the brain enters what scientists call the hypnagogic and the hypnopompic states. These are transition states between waking and sleep. During this time, the fast, analytical, critical mind begins to quiet down or is still quiet. The brain activity shifts more towards slower alpha and theta patterns. The part of you that argues, doubts, overthinks, and says, "This is not true," becomes weaker, and the subconscious becomes more impressionable. That is why this window matters, because the brain does not sharply separate vividly imagined experience from repeated real experience. If you repeatedly rehearse a scene with the strong sensory details and emotion, the brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with that identity. The same way athletes mentally rehearse performance. The same way fear becomes stronger when you replay the scene. The same way fear becomes stronger when you replay the same worst case scenario every day. Your brain is always practicing something. The question is, what are you practicing? Because if every night you replay stress, rejection, failure, not enoughness, you are training that identity. You are teaching the nervous system, this is who I am, this is normal. But if every night you rehearse calm, confidence, being loved, being capable, being safe, the nervous system slowly begins to treat that as familiar. And familiar feels safe, even if it is new. Repeated mental rehearsal followed by sleep strengthens and stabilizes those new neural patterns. Sleep is one of the main ways the brain consolidates what has been repeatedly practiced and emotionally experienced. And this is why your identity is not declared, it is stabilized. State becomes repetition. Repetition becomes identity. Identity becomes your life. People are not blocked because they do not know what they want. They are blocked because their body is still loyal to an old identity. They say, "I want peace," but the nervous system is still trained for chaos. They say, "I want confidence," but the body is still rehearsing embarrassment and fear. They say, "I want abundance," but every night they fall asleep replaying scarcity. The nervous system always returns to what feels familiar, even if familiar is painful. That is why people stay in the same patterns. The old identity feels like home. Your job is not to force the new identity. Your job is to make it familiar. That is why this short scene matters, because you are not trying to convince yourself. You are trying to rehearse yourself. You are training your body to stop treating the new version of you like a stranger. How to do this? Tonight, before sleep, choose one area of your life, not your whole life. One: peace, confidence, money, love, direction. Then ask yourself, what is one tiny scene that would only happen if this were already true? Maybe it's hearing someone say, "You seem so different lately." Maybe it's looking at your bank account and feeling calm. Maybe it's walking away from a conversation thinking, "I handled that well." Maybe it's lying in bed beside someone you love and hearing, "I'm so grateful for you." Keep the scene short, 10 to 30 seconds. Use the same scene every night. Do not keep changing it. Repetition creates familiarity, and as you drift to sleep, play that scene again and again. gently, no forcing, no desperation. No, when will this happen? Just become it. And then do the same thing first thing in the morning, because the first thought after waking often becomes the emotional tone of the day. Here's the deepest truth. You are already imagining every day. You are already visualizing. You are already rehearsing a future. Most people are just doing it unconsciously. They replay what they fear. They rehearse what they do not want. They imagine the worst and then they call it being realistic. But reality often becomes what the nervous system has practiced long enough. So the question is not whether you are imagining. The question is, what version of yourself are you practicing becoming? Because the future version of you is not created the day it finally appears. It is created in small, repeated moments, in the quiet, in the dark, in those 30 seconds before sleep. So tonight, instead of replaying the old movie, play the new one. And in the comments, I want you to write just 3 words. I already am. Because the person you want to become is not somewhere far away. It is a state, and you can begin practicing it tonight. Go in love and peace, with wisdom and understanding. Enjoy this day. Enjoy your scene.